What's good, peacemakers? Welcome to this bonus episode, I guess we're calling it. This is just a little review video. A lot of you asked me to put out something for YarnCon. Rewind. Hello, everyone. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, I'm Michael. This is the Piece for Piece Crafting Normally podcast, but today this is going to be a special episode where I'm going to be talking about my time at YarnCon, which is a fiber festival here in Chicago. A lot of folks asked me to put something out because they knew that I was going to be attending, and so I said that I would because these little videos are fun. The event normally happens, I believe, over 4 days, with the first 2 days being classes and things that you can go and take. I did not participate in that. I only went to the marketplace, which happened on Saturday and Sunday, so April 1st and 2nd. Yeah, the event was really cool, and I was really excited that I had gone. This is the first time that the event was back in person since the world changed, and so I'd only been once before in 2019, so it was cool to have the event be back in person again, to just go and see all of the wonderful vendors. So I think the way that I'm going to structure this video is sort of like if you have been around for a while and you watched my Rhinebeck recap. I'm going to tell you a little bit. I'm going to show a little bit of footage. I didn't get too much because the festival obviously is a little bit smaller than, say, something like Rhinebeck. I got some footage of some of the vendors, the people that were there, but I'll come back after all the footage I have, and I will tell you things that I bought and things like that. I will say, though, that so the event happens at one of the plumbers union halls. Why that is, I do not know. I was really trying to find out, but I couldn't find out why it was there. I jokingly told Kendra from Balance Skein that it's probably because they think that we're all flushing our money down the toilet, which is hilarious, and also not true. And she got a good laugh out of that. Yeah, so it's held there. There's this fantastic mural that's really funny. I definitely got some footage of that. That's within there. And the festival is sort of set up between, I would say, 2.5 levels. There's the main area, which is a big hall. And then there's a little area downstairs where there's a couple vendors and some stations for people rewinding skeins of yarn for folks. People just hanging out. There are food trucks outside. I wish I would have gotten some footage of that. But I was so going into it. And then there's a little balcony, sort of mezzanine-ish type area that overlooks everything that had a few vendors up there. So it's not massive where we're going through floors and floors and floors of things or a wide area of stuff. But there were some really beautiful vendors. I was really happy to see some folks that, I really like there. And yeah, just meet up with folks and get to chat a little bit. Yeah, so I'll stop talking. Here's some of the footage of the event, some of the different vendors that were there. And then once that's over, I will come back and chat with you a little bit more. All right, sweet. Enjoy. All right, good times. So, as you can see, lots of beautiful things to look at. I definitely wanted to buy more than I did. I went in with the intention of one, I didn't really have any projects that I was like looking to buy yarn for, which honestly can be a little bit dangerous, you know, going to a fiber festival and being like, oh, I'm just gonna willy-nilly walk around this place and hope for the best. But I did tell myself that if I did purchase any yarn, I really wanted to buy some non-superwash stuff because I feel like within my stash, that is something that I don't have as much of. That sort of didn't happen, but what I did get, I do enjoy. And there was another company. I think there's footage of them in their Northern Bee. Had some beautiful non-superwash, and on the first day I went, I was like, oh, like I'm just gonna do a walkthrough, and then tomorrow will be my shopping day. So like trying to approach it sort of like how I approached Rhinebeck. And that was like the wrong thing to do because so the first day I got there, went around immediately when I walked in, I saw Chevis from Chevy Real Stuff, which was really great to see her again. And so like we chit chatted and hung out for a little bit, did a loop sort of together. She was being stopped. I was looking at things. So I saw this yarn. I was like, oh, I'm going to come back and I'll get it tomorrow. I did buy a couple things, and then I ended up we went out to lunch together, which was really great. So I got to hang out with her and a couple of her friends and Dan and her friend Clint. Had a beautiful meal and then went home, processed everything I saw, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to come back tomorrow and get the things. Anyway, long story short, they sold out of the colorway that I wanted, but they did tell me that if I shot them an email, and actually when I went onto their website, it was the same thing. They can do, if it's a larger project, they can do up to like, I think on the website it says 1,000 gram like cakes, skeins, whatever. So like if you're doing a sweater, there's no knots, you just keep going. Huzzah, that's amazing. So I am going to look into that because there is a project that I would love to use their yarn for. So that'll be happening hopefully in the near future. Then day 2, I went and I saw Kendra as I was going in, went and did some shopping, got a few things, and then on my way out, I ran into Karen from a yarn tale. So it was really cool to see some of those, like, I mean, Chevis isn't close, but she's close-ish. She's local, just being one state over, a few hours drive away. And then 2 of my fellow Chicago podcasters being here in the city. Yeah, it was really lovely. And I even got to talk to a couple people that watch the podcast. So hello if you're watching. It was nice getting to chat with folks one-on-one. I think that's always really special. And also, too, I went to the festival later in the day. So Kendrick, can you please not do that right now? We're good. Thank you. Thank you, friend. You don't need to bark at anyone. He's sitting in the window next to me, and that's kind of a treat for him. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I went later in the day, so around 12-ish. And it was kind of not really crowded at all. Like, I definitely could walk around freely, go into the booths, chat with the different sellers, which I thought was really wonderful. There was no like elbowing to get in to see things. And I think you could see too from some of the footage, like definitely people were able to walk around and it wasn't like a problem. But I heard that in the beginning part of the day, I think it opened at 10, that like, I know they give out goodie bags, like for the first few, whatever, let's say 100 people, I just made that number up, that come in, you get like a little goodie bag. And so people get there kind of early to like see things, and I'm sure they want to like go on about their day. And even in talking to like the ladies at Beautiful Sister, they were like, yeah, it's been a great show for us. Like it was really crowded in the morning, but then like it sort of not dwindles, but it definitely gets a little bit less for the afternoon. So I was really happy that I went for more the latter part of the day so that I could like have these interactions with people. It wouldn't be too crazy. I personally don't like going places where I feel like people are like fighting over things. That gives me Black Friday vibes, and that's weird to me. It's just yarn. I want to go. I want to have a good time. I want to experience the event without feeling like I have to rush. Like it was really beautiful to just like take my time and absorb everything and yeah, really get to see what was going on. So if you are ever, now that it's back in person, if you're ever in the Chicago area or you live close and you've been thinking about coming but you haven't before, I would definitely say come and check it out. It's really cool to see like what's local or local-ish to us. And there were some great things that I'd never heard of before, and I was like, oh, let me see what this is all about. You know, gaining a bigger, what's the word? Just like storage? No. Getting a better idea of what else is out there. I feel like sometimes as consumers sounds like the wrong word. As people who are interested in fiber arts, right? Because it's a broad area of things. Sometimes we only hear about certain things, and so people generally go towards like, oh, well, this. But there are some wonderful small businesses that need support too, so it was good to go and see some of those businesses as well and check them out. Even if you're not purchasing anything, just like I would ask for a business card, just so I had it for later, so I could go back and be like, oh yeah, what about this place that I'd never heard of before? And let me check them out and see what they have to offer. All right, so let's get into a few things that I bought over the 2 days. Hopefully, I'm sitting in my sunroom today because I guess I've decided that this is going to be where I do my recap videos. And there's someone like mowing a lawn or blowing. We don't even have leaves because it's spring. So I hope you can't hear that. If you can, I will try to fix it in editing so that you can't. All right, so the first day, I was walking around and I saw the Beautiful Sister booth and I was like, oh, I need to go over there because I saw that they had some like plants fabric. They posted on their Instagram and I was like, oh, I really want one of these plant bags. Let me see if I can snag one of them. And so before I went into their booth, I saw across the way from them was Allegheny Fiber Arts. And I'd never heard of them. And they had a koala bag. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I love koalas. Obviously, if you're watching this channel, you've seen my little logo is a koala knitting a peace sign. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go and see like what those koala bags are all about. So I got one because there were only 2. So this is Allegheny Fiber Arts, and they're in PA. And here, what? So this is their large project bag. It's a great size. And the thing that really got me, other than the fabric, was on the inside of the bag, there is like a notions pouch that's sewn in that's a divider. So you could have project on one side, yarn on the other, yarn coming from both sides, project on top of it, but anything that you need, so pattern, notions, whatever that corresponds to that project, all tucked away on the inside. Also, I love the green fabric that's in here. Love this bag. I'm happy that I'm showing it. Now I can put a project in it. So that was thing 1. Thing 2 is I went back over to the Beautiful Sister booth. Love hanging out with them, love talking to them. Saw the plant bags, and I ended up not getting one. I ended up getting a couple other little sock project bags. They don't necessarily have to be for socks. They're just smaller. So Beautiful Sister, if you don't know, they make amazing project bags. So I got this little one. It has mushrooms on it. I thought this was really cute. And then, because Beyonce, I also got this small bag with bees on it. Because if you know, you know. So those were two fun other bags that I purchased. You know, I love making my socks. One's always in my bag, and so I figure you can't go wrong with having another small project bag to just like take on the go with you. Okay, the last thing I bought on day one was, here's a quick little story. So I'm walking around and I'm looking at things, and then I see this booth, TLD Designs, and I'm looking around at stuff. She had some fiber and some sort of wet felted items in her booth. There's definitely footage of it that you all saw. She goes, "Oh my gosh, are you Michael?" And I'm like, "Yes." I'm thinking, oh, she's like, "Watch the podcast. That's so cool." And she's like, "I have seen your podcast, but I think I sold your roommates your spinning wheel." And I was like, "Wait, what?" That is so wild. Turns out she did. That's amazing. Yeah, so we had a great little chat about that. I talked to her about fiber, and so she had some fiber dyed up. And so I purchased some Rambouillet. It's 100% Rambouillet. This is a about 4 ounce braid. This beautiful blues and purples. Yeah, I never worked with Rambouillet before. I really want to get my wheel back out and start spinning a little bit more. And so I thought, why not buy some fiber while I was there? And since one of my goals was looking for non-superwash, I guess I got it, but I just have to spin it myself. So I love this. I'm super excited to see how it spins up. It's really beautiful. It's so soft. Yeah, and I never worked with Rambouillet before, so I'm excited to try that out. All right, day two. Move some stuff out of the way. Day two, like I already said, I was really going in with the intention of purchasing just like that sweater quantity from Northern Beat. And then found out that they didn't have it, and that didn't happen. Sorry, I'm sitting on the floor. I have to adjust myself. So I just went aimlessly walking around, seeing what else was there, just hanging out. Downstairs, there was this, I don't remember the name of the place. I'm so sorry. But they had these little needle stoppers, and I thought they were really cute. So these little guys, their little hands. It came in a set of 3. And then these little fists. So cute. And the last one is what sold me on them. Were, what? The little peace signs. So I was looking at these and I'm like, oh, these are really great. Like, it's so cool. I love the peace sign and like the the fist and the high five. And she was like, oh, that's so funny. Like, you're not the first person to say that, but actually it's supposed to be, oh, let me hold them up for you. Let me do it this way so then it makes more sense. I was like, oh, it's so cool, like, you know, whatever. She's like, that's so funny that you say that you're the second person, or you're like another person to say that, but it's actually rock, paper, scissors. Baby, when I tell you I was shook, I just started laughing. She was like, yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm going to say that it's a peace sign, a high five, and the fist. But it is cute to know that it's also rock, paper, scissors. I actually put these on a project as soon as I got home, just because I didn't have anything on there, or like on the project to stop it from falling, because the project's getting a little bit big. So that was cool. And then upstairs, actually across from TLD Design, where I got the fiber from, was Jelby. And I've talked about Jelby on this channel before. I love her needle stoppers / progress keepers. And so she had a couple that I thought were really cute. One was this little monstera leaf. So these, you stick the needles through the little plastic ring, and then you can slide the thing up, or it comes with a lobster claw too, so it can be a little progress keeper while you're working on your project. So I got that little monstera leaf, and then I also got this little, I love this thing. Oh, can you see it? This little mushroom. So these were really cute. I was hoping she would have a koala, but she only had pandas. So these were really fun. Then, okay, two new to me. I guess all of these, well, with the exception of Beautiful Sister and Jelby, everything is new to me. I saw this booth. I was chatting with, I can't remember who, chatting with someone, and then it just so happened that we were like in a booth, kind of. Anyway, so this is, I believe it's Keenan Hand Dyed, and they are out of Michigan. And so I picked up, even though I know I said I wasn't gonna buy superwash, I picked up two skeins. So both of these are superwash sock, and they're 463 yards for 100 grams, 75.25. And I just thought these were so beautiful. The light's not quite picking up this one as well, but it definitely has like some blues and some greens in there. So this one is called Siren Song. I thought that was really pretty. And then this one is called Teal with a Kiss. Obsessed. It's actually brighter than it's showing up here. Also, here's her label. I love the little anime. So I picked up these two. She was really lovely. Loved spending some time in that booth chatting with her. The stuff is beautiful. If you haven't seen her shop, which I hadn't, so I'm assuming there might be a few other people who haven't either, definitely go and check her out and show her some love. She has some really beautiful stuff. And then the last thing, which I believe I've heard of, but I never like seen. Maybe I followed them on Instagram. I can't remember. Anyway, this is Deep Dyed Yarns. And this is some more just fiber I picked up. So this also is in that blue family with some of the darker navy blues and some browns. And this is Driftwood. And this is the last one. She's like, yeah, that's the last one. Like, if you like it, you should get it. So I definitely snagged it. The cool thing about Deep Dyed Yarns is they had fiber and they had yarn in their booth, which actually a few people did, which I appreciated. Just being able to have the option, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I love the yarn, but also like maybe I want to spin some of your fiber up to see what that looks like. And some of them even had, which I believe Deep Dyed definitely did, not in this color, but a different one, had it spun up for you, just like in a skein hanging like near the fiber, which I thought was really dope. So yeah, this is also 100% Rambouillet, 4 ounces. Really excited to spin this up too. I was thinking not spinning them together, but like doing sort of a fractal spin with these two, and mixing the two together with some other fiber that I have, but who knows? I mean, in my head, if you watch the normal podcast, which this is not obviously, you know that for a while I was spinning for a certain project. I sort of stopped spinning a little bit. So my reliability on spinning 4 projects is not very good right now. But I do have an idea for a bigger project that I would love to try and spin those for. But who knows if that will happen anytime soon. We shall see. Anyway, those are all the projects those are all the things that I purchased at YarnCon. Overall, it was a wonderful event. Super excited that I got to go again this year. And yeah, if I saw you, said hello, it was nice meeting all of you. Like I said, if you're ever in the area when it's happening again, I would definitely come and check the festival out. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said in the beginning, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, this is not normally what happens on this channel, although I guess it kind of is starting to be. But the normal podcast will be out hopefully soon. Where we do the whole FOs and whips and all that sort of jam. So if you're interested in seeing one of those, you can check back on the channel. There's definitely a big catalog of things you can go through, or just wait for the next one to come out. You can do all that fun YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe. And if you'd like to follow me anywhere else, you can follow me over on Instagram as Piece4PeaceCrafting or on Ravelry as Piece4PeaceCraft. Until next time, so the next podcast or the next festival, I will see you all soon. And don't forget, make a piece, spread some peace. Peace.